welcome to E-Magazine. I'm your host, Brenda Nyamichaba. Now, today in E-Magazine, we have a special team joining us who are the finalists at East Africa's Got Talent, the anticipated competition in all of East Africa. And with me in studios right now is members of the Spellcast Media. We're going to get to know them and a little more about their journey right after they were part of the competition of East Africa's Got Talent. Thank you so much for joining me.
It's a pleasure.
Great. Now, I just want to get to know more about Spellcast. You know, of course, we've seen what you guys have done on the show, amazing work. But what is Spellcast all about?
Spellcast is a theatre and arts group, yes. But Spellcast is more of a family. It's more of guys from different campuses, different backgrounds. Guys are working. We all meet in the weekend to enjoy each other's company and to do what we love to do most.
That's amazing.
And that's it's just beautiful. When
I can imagine you guys just look like a family. Like it's like just an extended family of brothers and
big
sisters,
one,
basically.
Big one.
Now, how was the group formed? How did you guys come together as Spellcast Media in the beginning?
The group actually started in 2013. It was started by Andrew Tumbo, but in around 2015 the group took a break, and then it came back now in 2017. And us guys were part of some other group, and we decided it was time for us to try a new challenge. So we got together and started this journey. And so far it's been real.
Yeah, I can imagine. Now tell me more about the kind of acts you do. You know, for individuals out there, probably they're unfamiliar and trying to understand the stories you're trying to tell through your act. So elaborate that for me.
I think first of all, people think Spellcast is just singing. It's just dancing, but it's singing, it's dancing, it's acting. We have models, we have writers. He's a writer. He's our head writer in Spellcast, yes. So it's a mixture of a lot of things. Maybe I'll let him explain about more and more what we do.
Spellcast, the whole idea behind Spellcast is creating a hub of talent so that it's a self-sustaining community. Actually, whenever we do shows or we put up musicals, we don't ever outsource for anything. Even from the basic point of having cooks, we do everything by ourselves. So Spellcast has singers, we have dancers, we have actors, we have writers, we have makeup artists.
Tuko na model. He's a model.
Okay.
Actually, we believe in the power of picking from different sources, because what you lack in singing, you probably have in oratory and in dancing maybe. So we're not trying to build a perfect group. We're just trying to build a group where everyone is growing by having good positive influence around them.
That's beautiful. Now I want to go back a bit and trying to, what made you guys decide to be a part of this competition?
Some guys talk about big bricks. Really wanted guys to know the African story, the African heroes. Guys don't really know that there's a Mekatilili somewhere. We all celebrate the Western type of heroes, the Spider-Man and the like. But we want to know the real heroes, not the fiction ones, the real heroes who were there in the 60s, the 50s, the 1800s, So sharing that story with everyone is what made us join the competition, Because with that platform, we had access to over 15 million people who would be able to see this story being told, So, and for us, we're passionate about art in that essence, because we want guys to understand that it's hard work to make art. It's not so easy to just come out and be like, I can sing. When we tell someone to sing just randomly, they'll be like, hey, Ebu, please sing for me this. They'll be like, hey, I can't hit that note. It's not easy. It comes with training. It comes with its skill, its talent. So we really want guys to understand that we need these stories told. So that guys understand what we go through.
And just to add on that, I feel like the whole motivation towards us wanting to propel ourselves to this pedestal is because you really don't find much authentic African art outside here anymore. There's lots of singers, but we are all modeling ourselves around the Western conception of what art is supposed to be. And I feel like we had that, that gap in our art industry for a real African group telling real African stories. Yeah.
Well, you guys have achieved that very well. I want to know what your feelings were like when you first went for the auditions. How are you guys feeling? Were you scared? Do you feel like once you were done, like we're getting through? How did you feel?
I don't want to sound cocky.
No, it's okay. If you know you're good, you know you're good.
But it was tough. Butterflies, of course, because you don't know who you're meeting first, who is the judge and the like. So you don't know exactly what's going on. But we got there and we're like, you know what? We do this on a daily. Let's just do it. And we'll go places, whether or not we don't go to the finals, but yeah.
You've done it.
You've done it, yes.
Yeah.
We've tried.
Great. And how was it performing in front of such a big crowd? Have you guys done that before? Before you went to the competition, had you performed in front of 50 million people? And you know there are viewers from other countries as well.
Well, not 15 million people. Maybe groups of 300 and the like, because we also did shows last year. We did one called Soweto Bunny. It's an adaptation of the Mandela story, Sarafina story. So yeah, it's different because now this is live television first of all. We're not used to that kind of pressure. It was not easy, but we have done shows before. That was multitudes of like 300 to 500. We still do weddings, so weddings are crowds, you know. So yeah,
I'll definitely have you guys come for my wedding, maybe in 10 years. Now you mentioned earlier, of course, you're trying to change the narrative a bit, talk about African stories, heroes who are in Africa that we don't talk about. When it comes to you writing these stories, what really inspires you?
I think you feed off from what you experience in an everyday sense, because you really have to be authentic when you're writing to create these stories, and the best way to do that is to tap into your own experiences and the experiences of the people.
Okay.
We usually have sessions where we sit down and just talk about what we're going through, how are we feeling, so that we model every story, every monologue, everything we are trying to push to reflect ourselves. And once it reflects in us, it's gonna reflect to the audience, the people who's listening to us.
That's very beautiful. That's even touched my soul, honestly speaking.
That's why we're family, in essence, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, what are some of the benefits you guys were able to get from this competition once you were done, reaching the finals? Like, have any people approached you, asked for you guys to do jobs for them?
Yes, actually, we're getting calls. Guys like embassies, weddings, that just passed as well, like, hey, can you just come and do something for us? You guys have a unique sound. The guys on our Instagram, the guys who approach us from Germany, they're like, hey, we watched live, and we're like, hey, we really want to know how we can get to work with you in the future.
Amazing.
So it's opened doors for us, a lot of doors, and we're taking the challenge, Yeah.
And I think for us, that was the whole point behind going for this competition. Like, of course, we wanted to win, but the motivation was to make ourselves get seen.
Get seen, get known. It's very smart marketing strategy right there. Now, of course, you guys have told me the experience was amazing. I want to know what was the hardest thing when you entered this competition. Did you at some point reach and you're like, are we really going to do this? Are we going to make it?
I think being on the competition, it kind of takes a toll on you mentally. We're kind of used to the physical pressure, because we literally didn't sleep for like a whole week.
Yes.
We stayed together in a house somewhere away from the city, and we rehearsed for a whole week.
I think that was
that's something we love to do, but what you don't really prepare yourself for is the mental pressure that comes with it.
What about you? What about you? How did you feel?
I think that week in between the semis and the finals, it was so tough. Because you're trying to understand how best to achieve winning, Because now, we're at the finals, so what next?
Who was your biggest competitors throughout the competition?
I think it was DNA.
Yeah.
DNA
was our biggest competition.
Yeah.
The dance group.
Okay.
Hey, those guys were...
They were amazing.
Amazing.
Actually, I watched them as well. They were really, really good.
Yeah.
But you guys were equally as good, so I think you deserve to be in that competition. Now, after the competition, what's the next step for Spellcast Media? What are we expecting? Are you working on any projects?
Well, you could expect a project in March, mid-March. I think we should be making an appearance to this year's Kilifi Festival. We're not so certain yet, but I'm sure next year we'll have a number of projects lined up, from solos to the group projects, because within Spellcast there are a lot of solo artists. Just to mention a few, we have the likes of Soila, we have James himself, he does music. We have our percussionist, he's called Wairishu. We have Liwell. There's so many. There's Mudhoni. It's a lot of good guys, you know.
Okay, wonderful.
And next year is the year to take over.
Yeah.
100%, 100%. New Year resolutions.
Yes.
Well, I really want to get to see the kind of work you guys do. I'm sure the audience, the viewers, are anticipating for this as much as I am.
Yeah.
Now we're going to take a short commercial break, but do not go anywhere. You're watching E! Magazine. When we come back, we're going to have Spellcast Media perform for us.